Hello, my name is Jamie and I am one of the choristers singing Mozart's Requiem. I'm very happy to be at BMA with the conductor, Mr. 𝗃𝗃𝗀, in this sharing session. Today we are going to pick the conductor's brain on the topic of creation of art through community understanding. Hello, Mr. 𝗃𝗀.
Hello, Jamie. How are you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
Well, in between rehearsals, doing okay, thank you.
Okay, so the first question for you is, the Midsummer concert will be happening on this coming Saturday. Could you share with us more about the combination of the concert program?
Yes, we've got a concert of two halves. With the Requiem, it takes up the whole of the second half. In the first half, we've got 3 or 4 orchestras working together. The BMA Youth Orchestra, Ensemble 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗄, which is the adult orchestra. We've got the BMA Children's String Orchestra and the BMA Training Orchestra, all side by side. And then the 2 choirs that are helping us to sing the Requiem, they also have solo slots in the first half as well.
Okay, I am curious about the combination of the first half and the second half. Why do you pick those combinations?
It is a good question. Sometimes it just happens that way. It can be just, well, this is what we have, this is what we've been preparing, let's see how. And especially after 2.5 years of not doing anything, it really was a question of grabbing who we can and are you ready for this concert? And it's a bit like a box of chocolates. There's a bit of everything in there. There's something sweet and chewy and crunchy and whatever else is in a box of chocolates.
Okay, so because I'm singing in the Mozart Requiem, yes, you must give me an answer. Why do you pick Mozart Requiem?
Oh, it's a seminal classic. It's an essential piece of music which is core to the canon, the classical music canon.
Okay.
You're going to tell me that those words are too big. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, specifically, okay. Can you elaborate more? Okay,
well, it is a classic. The Requiem itself is a classic. It's something which is part of the repertoire that every choir will perform at some point. It's actually the first piece that was premiered in the auditorium 12 years ago. It was actually the first piece. So it's important that we do this now after COVID. It marks my 10-year association with Bentley Music Academy. And it's core repertoire. It's good training for youth members to learn new skills through this wonderful piece of music.
Could you tell us more about the purpose of making a community project?
That's a big question. It's about fellowship, it's about togetherness, and in some ways it's about not sitting in front of a screen like you guys are now. Getting up, getting out and doing something and sharing a live experience with other humans, which is also has become so much more important since our lockdowns. We've sort of learnt how not to integrate with people, and music will bring us and does bring us back together.
You founded infinite amount of groups since you were a student. Take the Midsummer concert as an example. Can you specifically tell us how did you put those pieces together?
Okay, so during the first lockdown, I commissioned, well, we had to keep the members of the youth orchestra busy and active, and so they had quite a lot of assignments in the first lockdown. And one of those was to compose 4 bars of melody, each D major, A major, B minor. 24 members we had in the orchestra then, so they each composed 4 bars each. We put them together in 3 main themes, and then I sent them out to 𝗠𝗂𝘀𝗶𝗃 to basically finish the piece, orchestrate it, and arrange it into what we will hear. So that starts the actual program itself. Then we have the first movement of Mozart 25. There are lots of sounds in that, a lot of energy in that you will hear also in the Requiem. And that's the first movement. We're just doing the first movement of the G minor symphony, number 25. Then one of the choirs sings a beautiful piece by 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃. Then we come back with the multiple orchestras of the BMA and we play Infernal Dance, which is it's our party piece. We enjoy playing it. We can almost play it from memory. You never know, we might just do that. And then the other choir comes out and they sing a couple of pieces a cappella. And then we finish with the Romance in G for violin with 𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃, who's a bit of a star, a rising star.
You mentioned that you have a lot of students. Can I know where they come from geographically?
Oh, we've got some coming from Ipoh, Penang, and Malacca, and the rest are basically Klang Valley, KL.
So if anyone is interested in joining the Midsummer concert next year, what can they do?
That's a good question. They can sign up for one of the groups. They can come and audition. The auditions are free. They can come and sign up for those auditions, and we'll put you in one of those orchestras, and we take it from there.
What are the orchestras do you have here in BMA?
Okay, so we have the BMA Youth Orchestra, that's the flagship orchestra, and then we have a training orchestra which feeds into that orchestra. Then there's a children's string orchestra, and then for adults, because there are lots of adults out there that also like to play instruments, they may be a little bit rusty, doesn't matter, turn up on a Wednesday, so that's for 2 hours on a Wednesday we have an ensemble 24 plus. You've got to be 24 and older to play and be in that group. So those are the various orchestras that we have.
So make sure you come and audition, okay? All right, coming back to the story, there will be family and friends coming to support. Could you share some tips for those who just started to learn about classical music? How can they appreciate more when they come to watch our Requiem, the Midsummer concert?
Yes, I do remember my first classical orchestral concert. I think I ran out crying. I was very young, I hasten to add. Yeah, it can be quite an experience. It can be quite daunting. I would say listen to the music before. Actually go on YouTube and listen to the music. It's, on the poster it tells us that we're doing the Requiem. Go and listen to the Requiem before, so you've got an idea what to expect and anticipate. And I think you will enjoy it more having been familiarized yourself with the music before you turn up. I think that will be a good idea to do that.
Okay, so what about if they are so interested about orchestra, do you have any tips like what they can actually observe from what the performer doing on stage?
Watch how they conduct themselves. This is theatre, this is show business, so it is entertainment. Although there's no acting and no real movement, and there's not a big TV screen to look at, this is theatre, and it is entertainment. So there'll be a lot of things to look at. There's 70, 80 people overall in the performance. So if you divide that by 50 minutes in one half, you're looking at, you can look at people for a very long time, which is a bit weird. You can just sit back and just enjoy it, and let the sound wash over you. So
the next question is, we have a peer from PCC, the Conductor Circle, conducting too.
Yes. 𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Yes.
She's conducting the Mozart, the first movement of Mozart 25.
Talk more about it. Can you tell us more about the Conductor Circle?
The Conductor Circle is, aren't you a member?
I forgot.
The Conductor Circle meets on Sundays, 1:30 to 4:30, and we go through the basic grammar of how to conduct and beat and show gestures. And we work with pianists, we work together as a group, we work on set repertoire per term, and then every now and again, once we get back into live concerts, which we have now, some students from that group will be assigned an orchestra, a piece of music to perform live, like 𝗃𝗃𝗃 next week.
If people want to join the Conductor Circle, what do they do?
They contact director@bma.com.my,
One more time.
Go on. They contact me at director@bma.com.my, and we have a consultation, a free consultation. We have a conversation about that, talk about your musical history, what you're up to, and then come in and you can take a trial. You have to pay for it, of course, but you come in and take a trial, up to 3 trial lessons before you sign up.
What is your next goal?
Oh my goodness. Driving home safely in the rain is one. We have a deadline for Evita. We've got Evita coming up, a big musical at the end of this year with the Central Queensland Conservatorium of Music, and Jason Langley is our director. I'm conducting, our music director, and we are side by side with the orchestra from RTM. That's very exciting. The closing date for auditions is actually Friday the 17th. So that's about 90 people. It's a big project. It's a big performance, a big event. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you want to say to your supporters or friends? Any special shout out for them?
Oh my goodness.
For you?
Yes, well, if you just want to reach out and just have a conversation about music, anything to do with music, you can reach me at that email address, director@bma.com.my. Come and have a conversation and see whether we can get you actively involved with events at Bentley Music Academy.
Thank you, Mr. Phil. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, Jamie.
I appreciate Mozart Requiem.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your message with the audience. Comment below if you want to join any BMA groups. Also, comment below if you're coming to watch the Mozart Requiem, especially me. And you can even catch Mr. Field after the concert. I will see you and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.